and a warm welcome to Monday's programme.
Your headlines tonight. Why Devonport is critical to our national security. A vote of confidence in the naval dockyard from the new Defence Secretary.
But the great news for people right here in Plymouth is that not just the history of Devonport is something we can be proud of, but also the future as well, which is secured and extremely bright.
The ambitious development plans to transform one of Plymouth's most iconic buildings.
Making waves. The Somerset teenagers taking a stand against sewage pollution.
And meet the 90-year-old who's been photographing the Glastonbury Festival for decades.
Good evening. First tonight, there's a vote of confidence in Plymouth from the new Defence Secretary. Wes Streeting says the city has a vital role to play in the transformation of the Royal Navy over the next decade.
On his visit to Devonport, Mr Streeting said the base, which is the largest of its kind in Western Europe, was critical to keeping the country safe. Well, for more, we can speak to our political correspondent, Alicia Fitzgerald. Alicia, this is a really poignant visit, isn't it? Particularly given the rising diplomatic tensions with Russia at the moment.
It certainly is, and not least because just a month ago, a Russian ship engaged in an active fire exercise not too far off the Plymouth coast. So that makes it all the more relevant for Wes Streeting to come here on one of his first visits since he's been Defence Secretary. This was his first time here in Plymouth in this role, and the purpose of it was to talk about how important Plymouth was in playing such an active and large role in our defence capabilities and our industries. He was there speaking to businesses about the role that they can play in help bolstering our defence for the future and making sure that we are really protected for any threats like those from Russia.
Well, the investment here in Devonport is about securing the present and future Navy that we're building to safeguard the UK against current and emerging threats. And what we're going to see over the course of the next decade is a complete transformation of the Royal Navy, the types of ships we deploy, how we deploy them, and as a result, the kind of maintenance facilities that we need. But the great news for people right here in Plymouth is that not just the history of Devonport is something we can be proud of, but also the future as well, which is secured and extremely bright.
Clearly an endorsement from Mr Streeting there, but did he make any promises about new jobs at the dockyard?
Well, I think people expected a slightly more concrete answer from the new Defence Secretary today. We heard in the Defence Investment Plan that Devonport will receive £7.1 billion over the next 10 years to help grow their existing defence capabilities and create new ones too. But when asked about how many jobs in Plymouth this will actually create, Wes Streeting, the new Defence Secretary, said that's something that will change, and he didn't really have an answer to that one. He also spoke to so many businesses there, and we asked him how confident they felt in the new government. Having a reshuffle, as we just have, can sometimes cause a little bit of turbulence, but it did seem overall that companies we spoke to were pretty confident in the new Defence Secretary.
Yeah, I mean, it's obviously a new start, and there's a lot to do. But yes, obviously, let's see what happens. I mean, for us, we've got good engagement with the Navy, and we're being supported, so it's a good start.
The other thing that we don't have much concrete answers to at the moment is where exactly the money from the Defence Investment Plan will be spent. The West Country in general was promised a quite significant sum of money across several industries, but we don't actually know where that money is going to come from yet and how exactly it's going to be spent to ensure it stays in the West Country. Those are all answers that Wes Streeting, the new Defence Secretary, will definitely have to give when he enters Parliament back in September and receives that scrutiny.
Yes, I'm sure there'll be a lot of scrutiny over this. OK, Alicia, for now, thank you.
A minute's silence was held in the centre of Exeter this morning in memory of all those who have died in the conflict in Ukraine. While the war is ongoing, today is the 35th anniversary of independence for the country. Ukrainians, councillors and supporters of families gathered in Exeter to raise flags and to sing the national anthem.
My father was Ukrainian, and so, I know a lot about what was going on in Ukraine up to the time, and so I'm very pleased to be here to support it, but sad the fact that the war is still going on and we can't truly celebrate their independence.
I want people to think about those who are fighting, who are on the front lines, who are carrying the mission to defend Ukrainian independence, but also protecting Europe.
Some good news for commuters, because long-distance trains started calling at Paignton Station today following a fire which caused severe damage to the platform and buildings. The blaze broke out on the 21st of July, with local services resuming a week later. The main entrance, ticket office and footbridge are still closed while repair work is carried out.
The Environment Agency has rescued hundreds of fish from sections of South Devon River, which has been drying out. They picked up around 500 fish found in pooled areas of the River Hems and then placed them in areas with better water flow. The Environment Agency said several areas were at serious risks of drying out, which would have been fatal, of course, to the trapped fish. Now, for more than 60 years, this building has dominated the Plymouth skyline. In the years after its completion in 1962, and it's indicative of the period, isn't it? The regeneration of the city, but that's all changed.
Well, for the last 10 years, the building has sat empty and derelict. But today, a process started which could signal the start of a new era for one of the most recognisable buildings in the city. Nick Smith reports.
A glimpse into the future for a building that's long divided opinion in Plymouth. For many years, it's mostly stood empty, but the green light has been given for the Civic Center to become a hive of activity once again.
Love it or hate it, the Civic Centre marked the climax of Plymouth's Second World War rebuild and redevelopment. But from the end of next month, the exterior of this building will start to be hidden away by scaffolding as the ageing concrete cladding is finally removed and the interior starts to be renovated.
Plymouth today looks skywards as well as seawards, for the new council house and municipal offices are as up to the minute as any skyscraper elsewhere.
Originally opened by the late Queen Elizabeth in 1962 as the offices for the City Council, by the 21st century it was falling into disrepair. But proposals to demolish it were scrapped in 2007 when it became Grade 2 listed, so focus shifted to restoration.
I just think it's an ugly looking building. I know it was built in the 60s, wasn't it? And it's got, what's the status called, Grade 2?
Grade 2 listed.
Is it Grade 2? Yeah. I don't think it should stay.
I'm glad it's been left as it is and then to be refurbished and to look a lot brighter.
How has it been seeing it as, I guess, a bit of an eyesore because it's been left to rack and ruin, it's got broken windows and stuff?
Yeah, it's detrimental to the rest of it that's been done up, and then, this is sort of ugly eyesore.
In 2024, the City Council announced a scheme to convert it into 144 apartments and a City College campus on the lower floors. The Cabinet met today to greenlight Phase 1 of the rebuild. The total cost could reach £50 million.
People love it, they hate it, and there's almost nothing in between that. I personally love it. It's an important building for the city. This was the moment that we said to the country that the city was rebuilt after the Blitz. It's an iconic building for Plymouth, but between now and Christmas that scaffolding will go up and that first phase of works will get going.
And the developer has been talking me through the wider plans for the interior.
Once that main superstructure has been repaired and restored, then we start to work on the insides about repurposing it with homes, with the cafe bar on the roof and also with that college on the ground floor.
This building is something that the public might have a bit of a love-hate relationship with. I suppose what you're hoping to do is kind of bring it back into life, really, and have it serving a purpose.
This was formerly a public building, and so it's really important for us that the public can access it and interact with it and use it in the future. It won't just be for people to live there. People will be able to visit frequently. They'll be able to come to the top floor and take a look at the spectacular views that are up there as well.
So, like it or loathe it, the Civic Centre's facelift, 20 years in the making, is finally about to get underway. Nick Smith, ITV News, Plymouth.
What do you think?
Let us know. We'll be watching every step of the way. Hi. Now, you're watching ITV News in the West Country with Seb and Alex at the start of the week.
Yes, thank you for joining us on this Monday evening as we power towards the next bank holiday. It is coming. It's almost here. Still ahead, though, before 6:30. We meet the Somerset teenager swimming to raise awareness of sewage in our waters.
And you got a sneaky peek of him. Ross is here with all the weekend sport.
Could you tell it's me?
Yeah.
That's it. I'll be telling you about how our team's got on and talking about transfers. It's been a busy day. Stay tuned.
He has been busy. He's been working non-stop.
Yes, he has.
Clearly not.
Have you? Yes, he has.
Now, before all that, we're going to take a step back in time to find out more about a lost medieval village in southeast Cornwall, just opposite Plymouth.
Archaeologists have spent the last week uncovering more of the secrets of West Stonehouse near Mount Edgecombe House. And as Richard Lawrence reports, there have been some unexpected discoveries.
A flat area of shoreline that gives little away has been rich in finds that are revealing more of its past. The foundations of a medieval village. Could the flat edge walls here be the corner of a chapel?
The reality is that this has probably always been a settlement of some kind, and what stood here was probably a hugely significant landmark for people coming past on the sea.
The area where we're standing in now was where the original ferry crossing was at. It only got moved in the mid-1700s, so for 1,000 years before that, and probably even more, this is where everyone was crossing from the Plymouth side over to the Cornwall side on foot ferry. That's why there was a chapel on this side and a chapel on the other side to thank God that you didn't die in the way.
The organisers of the Barnpool dig held an open day to show off the finds that included pottery and tools dating back to the Iron Age and Roman times. But one of the main talking points was the glassware, a glass bottle seal from around 1675 and an early Victorian lemonade bottle that contained a marble in its neck to retain fizziness.
Archelaus Trout comes to Plymouth. He's from what we know as the South Hams. By 1869, he has bought a mineral water works at 21 Market Street, Stonehouse. So if you think about where this is found, it's just opposite there. So they've come across on a boat. This is a bottle of a day tripper. Right. Somebody's come along and thought, do you know what? I don't want the deposit. We'll get rid of it. And they just chucked it in the hedge. And that's why it's been found there.
The Barnpool dig attracted dozens of volunteers too.
We found a beautiful Elizabeth I, like newly minted coin that you can actually see the curls on her head. So there's just loads, and I just think that this is such a good community initiative that you can get people interested in their own heritage, and then they can come along and dig.
Sadly, the trenches are being filled in today. The archaeologists hope to continue their project next year when they hope to prove what they found this year was an important chapel. Richard Lawrence, ITV News, Mount Edgecombe.
Right, it's time for the sport now.
Powering local sport in the community. Octopus Energy sponsors ITV Regional Sports Report.
You've seen him several times tonight. Ross is still here.
One too many?
One too many, maybe.
Never.
Now, it's that strange time of the year, isn't it? The football season started, but the transfer window's still open.
Yeah, and it's really interesting because some managers love that because if there's an issue with your squad, you can buy a player and maybe solve the issue. Other managers hate it because your star players can get nabbed by someone trying to do the first. So, yeah, it is a really interesting one. But talk about our clubs. It's been a real summer of change for our teams in the region, starting with Plymouth Argyle, who've made a number of new signings, and actually two today as well. Tom Cleverley will have to bed them in quickly after the opening day defeat. They were held by Wickham at the weekend. Will Evans' first half strike not enough to secure all 3 points. Malachi Boateng has also joined a lengthy injury list, and the manager said there will be 2 more signings confirmed in the next few days. Well, we've got them. Argyle take on Coventry at home tomorrow evening in the EFL Cup.
Playing for Argyle has a different kind of pressure than it does playing for those clubs. We look like a group who's feeling that a little bit. We can be better. The last 2 games, we look like we've got a little bit to lose. So it's my job to get into the mentality of the players, and I think having a little bit of a free hit tomorrow night, nothing to lose, will help that.
Elsewhere, Exeter City manager Matt Taylor says he's also expecting things to happen before the transfer window closes next Monday. The Grecians have also brought in 7 players and picked up their first victory of the League 2 season, a comfortable 2-0 win at home to Accrington Stanley. Jack Fitzwater opened the scoring after less than 2 minutes. A great goal, actually, and then an own goal 10 minutes later was enough to wrap up the win.
It's not been a long time. It's been 1 league game and 1 cup game in the Devon derby. But we felt that win being too far away, so to get ahead early in that manner, I think settled the team down. It wasn't a pretty game, it probably wasn't a spectacle, probably wasn't one where you'd go home and watch it back if you got the opportunity to do that, but there was enough honesty and endeavour on show from both teams today to make it entertaining enough.
Yeah, things to happen. Yes, as good as mine, we'll see. In the National League, Yeovil got their first league win of the season at home to Gateshead. Stephen Walker and a Luke McCormick brace rounded off a dominant performance in the National League. South Torquay fell to their first defeat of the season, losing 2-0 at Dagenham and Redbridge. But Truro won by the same scoreline at Tunbridge Angels to keep their own unbeaten record intact after an impressive start back to life in that division. And finally, in the Formula One, Lando Norris has kept his World Championship title defence hopes alive. There had been a big crash on the first lap of the race, but the Somerset driver avoided that and then finished top of the podium at the Dutch GP, out-duelling title rival Kimi Antonelli to secure the points. It's moved him to second favourite for the World Championship. It'd be great to see it back in our region, wouldn't it? It's so well.
Did anyone not notice the biggest trophy?
I think it was the driver was small.
They're always
I
big
wasn't
trophies.
sure.
Always big trophies.
Thank you, Ross.
Thanks, Ross.
Now, on a beautiful summer's day, it's lovely, isn't it, to see a group of teenagers who are showing off their swimming skills in Lyme Bay. But for these young people, there's an important message they want to get across, and that's the release of sewage along our beautiful coastline.
Well, they've been taking on a series of endurance swimming challenges this summer to highlight the message, while also raising money for a community initiative in Wiveliscombe to help children learn to swim. Marina Jenkins went along to meet them.
These swimmers are on a mission. They're impressive endurance athletes and are passionate about campaigning against sewage pollution in the sea, which is, after all, their training ground.
The Big Swim is all about promoting cleaner, safer water and helping people to gain water confidence. So I've been swimming for few years now, quite a few years, and I found that I really, really enjoy it. But then why should we sacrifice something that I really like doing so that people can pump out sewage and things into the water? And it's obviously a huge safety risk for people getting viruses, diseases, and really seriously ill.
The group is based in Wiveliscombe in Somerset and regularly travels down to train here in Lyme Bay.
Just beyond that beautiful arch there is Bea Head, and there's a combined sewer outlet there, which when it releases, sometimes it discolours the water there.
Whether swimming across the English Channel or completing marathons off the Jurassic coast, they just want cleaner sea.
It's not just people who are in the water like I am for a long period of time. You can get ill from just having a dip in the sea. And I just think it's disgusting. And not only does it affect our health, it affects the ecosystems in the water as well.
They also use their big swims to raise money to help local children learn to swim.
We have a legacy initiative called Level the Water, where if people want to donate on the back of these swims, we're going to provide a clean environment for children to learn to swim at Wivy Pool, and we're going to help to subsidise that.
South West Water says while storm overflows play a key role in preventing flooding, a spokesperson says we're investing £760 million to reduce storm overflows across the southwest. We reduced spills by 17% in the last year, with spill duration down by 25%. We know there is more to do, but the data shows the plan is working. For these teenagers, they really hope that continues to be the case, because they love their sport.
And how proud you feel of yourself afterwards.
Mr. McCarthy always says there are 3 R's in swimming. You've got to get the rhythm, relaxing, and can't actually remember the third one.
The third R is reach. So like when you swim, you've got to reach forwards.
I really just love the water, and it's good to have a test that tests you all the time.
I also love when it's lovely and clear and the challenges it allows us to do. It really boosts your confidence, and afterwards you just feel so much better about yourself. You really build resistance to like the cold water.
It's your mind, and you've got to tell yourself that you can do it, and then if you can do it, you'll be able to do it.
With all that drive and determination, they hope that before too long, West Country waters will be cleaner for everyone to enjoy. Marina Jenkins, ITV News in Beer.
Beautiful place.
Stunning.
Beautiful. Now, as you know, age is no barrier to enjoying the Glastonbury Festival, and 90-year-old Anne Cook from Wells proves that. Anne has been taking photos of the event ever since the early 90s.
Anne, it looks like you're taking one of us now. Anne's embraced the name Granny Goes to Glastonbury. With the festival having a year off as well, some of Anne's work has now gone on display in Wells, as Ben McGrail reports.
We always see photographs of Michael smiling with his wonderful festival smile, but I've seen other sides of him looking very serious, looking anxious, because he has gone to great difficulties.
You are both celebrating your 90th year.
I wouldn't say celebrating it.
Other than Glastonbury Festival founder Michael Eavis, there can be few who've seen as much of it over the years as Anne Cook. She's been going to and capturing the event since the early 90s.
Well, a wonderful memories all those years, from the very beginning, when it was much more primitive, the festival. People could sort of get in over the wall or under the wall or through the wall. First few years, it was a bit dodgy. I liked the edginess.
Being in her 50s in the early days, she faced some unkind comments about her age. So she decided to own it, giving talks about her photos with the title Granny Goes to Glastonbury. And despite being interested in the sights rather than the sounds, some musicians have made her stop and listen.
Amy Winehouse, when I first went, I had no idea who she was. She suddenly sang that song of hers, Rehab, and she goes, no, no, no. And shivers went down my spine. I thought, this one is terrific. And I just became her everlasting fan.
Anne's photos capture the variety, eccentricity and pure fun of the festival goers, and she has a particular tactic to get the right shot.
I find a really super background, and I'll lurk in front of it and then pants on people as they walk past. I look for the colour and the eccentricity and the fun. So lurking and stalking has been my method. So it's a secret I'm giving you for nothing.
To mark Anne's 90th and the fallow year of the festival, she's got an exhibition of some of her work in her home city of Wells.
A lot of our customers, they've known Glastonbury for a long time and brings back a lot of memories, So we've had a lot of fruitful. Anne's pictures are going to be with us until the beginning of September.
Do you think you'll be back at Worthy Farm next year?
Oh yes, but you know, they let me have a mobility scooter. So I go around on a mobility scooter, and I took my son as my carer one year, and he got very annoyed because I was either going too fast or too slow.
Do you still get excited?
About Glastonbury Festival? Yes. Oh, yes. It's a strange thing. A sort of surge of excitement goes through, isn't it? It's bound to all the people there and all the different stages and the colour and the fashions people. You know, definite Glastonbury fashions, aren't there? It's unique. Of course I get excited, yes. How could you not?
Wow, I love that so much. I wish you were my granny. She's down with the kids.
She's so
90s, well.
She's very cool. Of course she's so cool. Yeah. She goes to Glastonbury all the time. So,
yes.
Right, let's join Charlie, who's in Teignmouth. Charlie, no rain so far, but some coming, I hear.
Yeah, the cloud's changing a little bit here, Seb, actually, which is a bit of a precursor. It's really high-level stuff, but you can just tell that there's a bit of a change in the air, at least of all the fact that it's really windy here. Now, looks can be a bit deceiving. It's been glorious here on the back beach at Plymouth. It's been quite warm. It's felt nice in the sunshine, but just have a look at this contrast here. The first bit along the beach where I'm standing, where it's really calm, there are people in the water. It could be any idyllic kind of British seaside spot, but then compared just a few metres across on the seaward side, that wind has been giving us some incredibly huge waves and spray. We've had gusts around sort of 40 to 50 miles an hour, and yeah, it's caught a few people unawares. But it all adds up to give a sensation that this week might be a little bit different to the rest of the summer so far.
A clear start makes way for a day of ancient discoveries. TUI sponsors ITV West Country Weather.
Now, reason for the change is because we are going to see low pressure in charge a little bit more of our weather as we head through this week, which will in time bring some potentially heavy downpours and also a bit more humid feel, perhaps more likely in the short term, I think. And the Atlantic gives you an idea why, with the high pressure we've had for the last couple of days moving away to the north and that low moving into the southwest a little bit more, which will bring us a few fronts, outbreaks of rain, but also winds from the south. So as well as a bit of an upturn in temperatures in the short term, humidity will pick up a little bit too. For the rest of this evening, well, for the most part, it should stay pretty dry. But we are going to see a bit more cloud increasing and bring, during the early hours, perhaps a few outbreaks of mostly light rain. The other big difference as well is that the last few nights have been quite chilly. We've been down to mid to high single figures, whereas tonight most places will probably be in the low to mid-teens maybe. Towns and cities are always that little bit milder anyway, as you know. And then through tomorrow, we continue with a slightly cloudier theme to things and a few further outbreaks of rain, some of which could be pretty heavy as we head through the daytime. There'll be bits of brightness and sunshine around, but no clear blue skies. Similar temperatures to today, probably up to the mid-20s fairly widely, and a bit of a humid feel to things. But changes, I think you'll feel, in the short term. High tide as we head through tomorrow between around 3 and 5 in the morning, and then again as we head through the second part of the afternoon. But the outlook does paint a slightly different picture. Plenty of heavy showers potentially, some tomorrow, a few more Wednesday morning, some heavy ones then maybe later in the week as well. Temperature dipping a little bit down later in the week as well, but potential for maybe some warnings even, as we could see some pretty heavy downpours not too far away.
TUI sponsors ITV West Country Weather.
Thanks so much, Charlie. We can see people coming out the water behind you, so they're still braving it. Thank you.
Thanks, Charlie. That's it from the two of us. I'll have the late news for you at 10:30 if you can join me then.
But after the break, the ITV News continues with Mary. But from all of us here, bye-bye.
Bye.